Well, long time no see here at Kirkham A Movie A Day. I'm doing a short video tonight to talk about the movie Annabelle. I saw it last weekend and it's just been a tough week. I spent some time writing on another movie and I've expended all of my energy for the week, so I'm not really that excited about writing about Annabelle. It's a pretty perfunctory film, so I thought I would just post one of these videos for you, give you 3 or 4 minutes of my impression of the movie, and let you move on to other things that are more interesting. Annabelle's not a bad film, it's just not great. The Conjuring, the film that it comes from, is one of my favorite films of last year, and the idea of Annabelle is a good one. It's the notion that you have this evil doll that is possessed, and as a result, horrible things happen to people who come into contact with the doll. That's a good storyline. I think it could make for a pretty good film. The movie that we got is a low-budget horror film. It's not super clever. It takes a premise that was created in the other movie, does a little bit with it, and then kind of leaves us. I'll tell you what, there is a pretty smashing opening section that involves an attack with a couple of cult murderers who come in contact with the doll, and that's sort of apparently how the curse of Annabelle starts. So I did like that theme of the film. Unfortunately, after the jump scares that we get in the first section of the movie and kind of the horrifying visualization of the young couple expecting their first child coming in contact with these cultists, after that, the movie really doesn't go very far. The demonic doll, the doll looks creepy. Every time the camera lingers over the doll, there's a high level of ick factor that's going on. I am glad that the doll doesn't move by itself. I know that some people think, well, the doll ought to be doing something, but we see the doll being in different places. We don't ever actually see the doll walking or smiling or turning its head in any way, except when it's being manipulated by a demon, and that's kind of the big drawback of the film. Like a lot of these kinds of movies, stuff that starts off promising enough ends up getting reduced to there being a monster in the background, and even though there's a pretty good scene where the concept of the demon is introduced, when the young pregnant wife, well actually she's a mother at this point, goes down into the basement of the new apartment building in an elevator. That's a pretty effective scene, and there's a little bit of tension that builds up there, but what follows just becomes kind of awkward and not nearly as interesting as it ought to be. The performers in the movie were fine. I didn't think they were great actors. Alfre Woodard is in the film, and to be honest, I thought that she is overplaying it a little bit. Half of the time I thought there's going to be a twist and she's going to be part of the evil of the cult. That's not exactly what happens, and it seems strange that I felt like that's what was coming, but that's kind of the way it was. The movie plays out with a few more jump scares here and there. There's a little bit of like I said, high concept fright with the doll, and then it just basically deteriorates into boogeyman jump cuts and kind of a, well, sort of what you expected ending that leaves it open for Annabelle Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. I'm hoping that if they do a Conjuring 2, which I understand that they are planning on doing, they spend a lot more time on the script. This film has been pretty successful. I didn't hate it. It was entertaining enough for the hour and a half that I was there, but it's not spectacular, and it reminds me so much of so many of those other kinds of horror films nowadays that are PG-13 with a monster reveal in the end. There's the nice part about this is that there isn't a lot of CGI, which I appreciated that. So it's got that going for it. But it seems like there was so much more possible with the movie. Alright, well, like I said, I'm going to keep it short. I'm just trying to make sure that I keep up on all the movies that I see this year, and I wasn't excited about writing about Annabelle, and my energy level was low for talking about the movie this week. So we'll just move on, and hopefully next week or in the soon-to-be future, there'll be some more exciting things to talk about. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck.